Biology Class 9. Good morning, students. Today we will continue the rest part of the chapter Seeds, Structure and Germination. So we have studied structure, we have studied the process of germinations and the conditions necessary for germination. Now today we will discuss about the types of germination. What are the major types of germination? See, types of germination. Both the epicotyle, the part of the cotyledons above the part of the embryo above the cotyledons, and hypocotyle, the part of the embryo below the cotyledons of a seed, never elongate together during germination. So, a seed contains two cotyledons and one small embryo. So, these are the two cotyledons, and this is the embryo. Two cotyledons and one embryo. So the part of the embryo above the level of cotyledons is called epicotyle, and part of the embryo below the cotyledons is called hypocotyle. Epicotyle later develop into the plumule that gives rise to the shoot part of the plant. Hypocotyle develops into the radicle that later give rise into the root system of the plant. So here it is mentioned that epicotyle and hypocotyle of a seed never elongate together during germination. It is either the epicotyle or the hypocotyle that elongates. If the epicotyle elongates, the cotyledons remains underground. Clear? So, if the epicotyle, the part of the cotyledons will elongate, then the cotyledons remains in the ground. Clear? So, the important statement, epicotyle elongates, then cotyledons remains in the ground. Then such germination is called hypogeal germination. Getting all of you? Hypogeal germination, and the examples are the pea, gram, etc. So once more, in hypogeal, epicotyle elongate first, so the cotyledons remains in the ground. Example, pea, gram, etc. And if the hypocotyle elongates, the cotyledons are pushed above the ground, and this type of germination is called epigeal, castor bean, etc. Hypocotyle elongates, then cotyledons pushed above the ground. Example, bean. And such type of germination is called epigeal germination. Clear? So the difference between the hypogeal, in hypogeal epicotyle elongates and epigeal hypocotyle elongates, just opposite to each other. So if epicotyle elongates, the cotyledons remains in the ground, example p-gram, and if hypocotyl elongates, cotyledons pushed above the ground, example bean. Getting all of you? Means hypogeal, cotyledons remains underground, epicotyl elongate faster, usually occurs in monocots, and epigeal, cotyledons pushed above the ground, hypocotyl elongates and usually occur in dicot seed. Getting all of you? Now, next, a method to observe stage of germination. Put sterilized sand in a glass vessel in which filter paper or ordinary white paper is lined beside the inner wall, and place seeds in between the paper and the glass. When water is added to the sand in the vessel, seeds will absorb water and germinate in few days. Means you have to take a glass, put paper and sand inside, put some seeds here, so if seeds will germinate, it is clearly visible from the outside. Now, germination in some common seed. So pea, in pea seed, what type of germination we have seen? Hypogeal. Epicotyl elongates and the cotyledons remains above the remains in the ground. So here the seeds absorb water and soils considerably. The testa softened and birth. Testa means the seed caught. The radicle emerges because here epicotyl elongates, grows downward and form the root system. The plumule grows upward and forms the shoot of the seedling. In the earlier stage of development, the plumule is it's very important statement, and thus protect the young shoot. In the earlier stage of development, the plumule is See the arced plumule. Plumule is arc and protect the young shoot from injury during its emergence from the soil. So this is the most important statement in the hypogeal germination, that is plumule is arc and thus protect the young shoot from injury during its emergence from the soil. The cotyledons supply food till the seedling is able to exist independently. Later they wither and shrivel up. The cotyledons remains underground in hypogeal. So the most important statements are plumule is arc and second, cotyledons remains underground. In which? In the hypogeal. An example is pea seed. Getting all of you? Now come to the epigeal, example bean seed. Once more, in epigeal germination, hypocotyl elongates and cotyledons pushed above the ground. So see here, the seed absorbs water and swells. The radicle grows downwards. Here the radicle grows downwards forms the root system. The arc hypocotyl grows forming an arc or loop above the soil. Hypocotyl forms a loop and emerges out from the root and enters into the soil. So this is here hypocotyl becomes arc. Germination is therefore epigeals. So once more forming an arc loop above the soil, it is then straightens, bringing the cotyledons above the soil. So see once more, hypocotyl grows forming an arc or loop above the soil. It then strengthens, and due to this, the cotyledons comes outside the ground or pushed above the ground. So germination there is epigeal. The cotyledons becomes the first green leaves and soon fall off after the foliage leaves grow. So initially, the cotyledons appears like a leaf that provide nutrition. Now, Next example, maize grain, hypogeal. The grain imbibes means the grain take water from their general surface. Imbibition is one of the process of absorption of water from their general surface through the surface contact. Water and swells considerably. The radicle pierces through the protective root sheath that are coryza and the fruit wall and grows downward to form a root system. But it dies up soon. Now new roots develop from the base of the stem that are adventitious stem. So in case of maize grain, the radicle moves downward and the plumule moves upward. No arc, no loop. So how do they protect their young root and shoot? So when we studied about the monocot seed that is maize grain, we have seen that the radicle and plumule are protected by coleoptile and coryza. That coleoptile and coryza, so here it is coryza, a protective covering above the radicle. So while piercing into the ground, this coryza protect the young or tender root. So see, vivipary in which seed germinates inside the fruit, which it is slightly still attached to the parent plant. So here, this is the seed. See once more. If this is the plant, and this part is covered with water, so this is the fruit and the seed inside. Seed start germinating, and when the fruit separate and fall down, the seed that develops radicle and plumule will develop into a new plant. Such germination is known as viviparous germination or vivipary. So here is the figure. Radicle, its fruit, hypocotyle, it will fall and develop into the new plant. Now the seedling. Germination in any plant ends with the formation of seedling. Seedling is a stage in the growth of plant from a seed before it has become wholly independent of the food stored in it. Means now they are ready for the process of photosynthesis. The root of the seedling absorbs water and minerals from the soil. The leaves start manufacturing food for the young plant, which keeps growing and becomes a mature plant and produces flower and seeds in turn. So this is all about the structure of seed and their germination. Next session we will start a new chapter. Till now, have a good day. Bye all of you.